The first race of the 2025 season, the Australian Grand Prix, began under cool weather conditions. Due to heavy rain that had fallen earlier, the track was quite wet. During the formation lap, all drivers except Lance Stroll opted for intermediate tires with green markings. As soon as the formation lap started, Isaac Hadjar spun at turn 2 and found himself in the barriers. The rear of his car was damaged, and Hadjar had to retire before the race even began. As a result, the start procedure was delayed by approximately 10 minutes. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri got off to a successful start, maintaining their positions. Behind them, Max Verstappen immediately began attacking the McLaren duo. Soon, Verstappen completed his move, overtaking Piastri to take second place. Starting from 7th, Charles Leclerc gained 2 positions and moved up to 5th. Meanwhile, Alpine driver Jack Doohan spun at turn 5 and crashed into the barriers. The safety car was immediately deployed. At the same time, Carlos Sainz also spun and ended up in the barriers. While the safety car passed through the pit lane, Ocon and Lawson pitted for fresh intermediate tires. By lap 7, the safety car period ended and the race resumed. After the restart, drivers were more cautious and everyone maintained their positions. By lap 12, race control allowed the use of DRS. Antonelli, who was running in 13th place, spun but managed to continue without hitting the barriers. On lap 17, Piastri attempted an overtake on Verstappen. Verstappen made a mistake under braking and was forced to go through the gravel trap. As a result, Piastri successfully completed the move and took second place. Meanwhile, Antonelli made a bold move to overtake Hülkenberg. On lap 20, Lawson overtook Ocon to move up to 15th place. By lap 23, Antonelli completed another overtake, this time on Stroll, moving up to 11th place. This meant he had gained 5 positions since the start of the race. On lap 30, Piastri closed the gap to Norris and the duo began lapping back markers. At this point, the team radio instructed Piastri to hold his position. However, by lap 33, the team radio informed Piastri that he was free to race. Fernando Alonso spun on lap 34 and crashed into the barriers at turn 7. The safety car was deployed again, prompting many drivers to switch to dry tires. Drivers such as Norris, Piastri, Russell, Leclerc, and Hamilton opted for hard compound tires, while Verstappen chose mediums. By lap 42, the safety car period ended and the race resumed. Teams warned their drivers via radio that heavy rain could start within 3 laps. On lap 44, Tsunoda overtook Leclerc and moved up to 5th place. Suddenly, heavy rain hit the track, causing Norris and Piastri to lose control. Verstappen seized the opportunity to take the lead. While Norris managed to continue, Piastri got stuck in the grass, bringing out the yellow flags. The Australian driver eventually managed to reverse out of the grass and rejoin the race. Norris, Piastri, and several other drivers pitted for intermediate tires. However, Verstappen stayed out. As a result, Piastri dropped to last place. The rain intensified to the point where Verstappen also had to pit a lap later. Meanwhile, Hamilton and Leclerc, who had stayed out, found themselves in 1st and 2nd place. At this point, both Lawson and Bortoleto spun and crashed into the barriers, prompting another safety car deployment. Hamilton and Leclerc, unable to continue on slick tires due to the slippery conditions, had to pit as well. This allowed Norris to reclaim the lead, with Verstappen in 2nd, Russell in 3rd, Albon in 4th, and Antonelli in 5th. After a short safety car period, the race restarted on lap 52, with Norris successfully defending his lead. Further back, Hamilton and Leclerc, running in 9th and 10th, battled fiercely. During Leclerc's overtaking attempt, the two came extremely close to contact. With only 2 laps to go, Verstappen closed in on Norris, bringing the gap down to less than a second and gaining the DRS advantage. Meanwhile, Antonelli, who had climbed up to 4th place, received a 5-second penalty for an unsafe pit release. The final lap saw an intense battle between Verstappen and Norris, but Norris managed to defend his position and cross the finish line as the race winner.